Come on,
What's
there
up?
we are, finally.
Hello, my beautiful people. What is up? Welcome to the very first episode of
Stellar Spark.
Sheesh with our special guest,
Janelle from
Janelle. Wow. So this is our very first show, and we're very, very excited to do this. And yeah, we have so much in store.
Yeah, we have a lot. Just before
You
we go, because we've been talking about this to do this together, and first of all, awesome that we can start this because we need a platform like this. But let's explain a little bit what we're doing here, Kuya Magic.
Yeah.
So who are you?
I'm Kuya Magic. Hello, ¿cómo está? I am from TikTok. I am a music producer, mashup creator, and entrepreneur.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so I am Piotr. I'm the founder of Stellar PH, the coolest startup enabler of the country.
Let's go.
Yes. And we got together and we thought like, oh, we need to do something cool because we have so many cool people that we want to know what is the spark? Why are you an entrepreneur? Why do you want to start a business? Why do you want to be this crazy to do this? And then we started this.
And here we are. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. So, guys, we are live over on Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. So, guys, if you have any questions that you have any throughout the whole program, you can just drop them in the comments and we'll get to you. But, guys, if you do post a comment and we don't see it straight away, don't worry. We have a special segment for that. Diba?
Yes.
Yeah.
So first of all, I think to give a little bit more background about Stellar PH, Stellar PH is a startup enabler, and what we want to do is we want to make sure that you can live an entrepreneurial life in the Philippines. What is not always easy, but we actually have a lot of examples around in the country of cool people that actually are doing cool stuff. And that's why we're super happy that we are our first guest. So tell me, who are you?
All right. I guess just to introduce myself. Yeah, I'm Janelle Tanoy, or you can call me Jan. Just straight for other. And I'm the community lead for game development here in Cebu.
Wow.
So if you're into games, like I swear many people think I just play games all day. I wish I would play all games all day, but yeah, and the things we do is really really cool. A lot of people here don't know that you can actually make game development as a career option, as a job, as a entrepreneurship idea. Like if you have a cool game idea, why not do it? And really yeah. And I took that leap like I guess 2018, 2019, pre-pandemic, and then pandemic happened, and I guess like things really cool, big things. I mean, being able to work with Riot, being able to work with Netflix, all these cool like studios
yeah.
and stuff. Yeah.
Before we go into that, I think we want to ask some questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we want to know a little bit more about you. So first question, chicken or beef?
Chicken.
Chicken.
Chicken or beef? Chicken.
Chicken.
Chicken. All right. Night owl or early bird?
Formerly a night owl, now an early bird.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What else?
We got tumatay.
Tomorrow.
I just know what this means.
Yeah,
What?
that's why I thought maybe.
Tomato or tomato? Oh my gosh, guys! I just misread it.
I was like,
you did that purposely, guys, didn't you? You did that. You know.
I was like, what's a tomato? Is that a Tagalog or Bisaya
oh my
word?
gosh! All right.
Yeah, tomato. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Wow.
Okay. You already introduced yourself, but what is your 60-second elevator pitch?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Janelle. I make games for a living. I want to really showcase that, hey, it's not only me that can make games for a living. Everyone else can also make games for a living, where I really want to push that this is a passion that can be a profession. It's something I've been doing for the past years, doing to talks, doing to events, and encouraging really everyone to see the value in game development and not just like look at it as a passion, as a hobby, but something you can really thrive and survive with in the future.
Cool. Before we, like I said, go a little bit more in your in the details of your work, we also want to get a spark inside of people, right? We want to see what are the opportunities in the Philippines. Um, what is something that you might see in other countries, but you don't see here in the Philippines? What is something that doesn't exist here that you think like, why is it not here?
I heard that's a lot. Everyone's like, what do you not see? Like, I mean, a really good transport, but then I think that's just beside the point.
Yes.
Transport
Yeah.
or traffic?
Yeah, traffic. Yeah, I mean, if I want, maybe I just need a helicopter and go to the place I want to go. But
Oh,
yeah,
can you imagine grab a heli?
yeah,
Yeah.
grab heli, man. That's like a
That
business
exists
idea.
in LA. We need to. That's an idea, but it's gonna be mahal. It's expensive. You know?
Yeah, but really, but for me, it's just really a lot more. I guess appears way more, a lot more love for local things, because like we're like a hot pot. Like I mean, we have so much stuff from the eastern side of things, from the western side of things, but like there's a lot of creativity, lots of things here that are not that valued as much compared to okay, it's imported, then people will gravitate towards it. And for me, that's something that's missing here, which I see a lot is present in a lot of other countries. Like they would really just go to their own tourist destinations, things like that. And basically, there's a lot of love for themselves. Basically, I'm not
Ye-
saying we Filipinos don't do it. It's just like it's not as strongly as what the other countries do.
Any specific example that you think like this is something that we really need to have it?
I guess one thing is really like a specific example would be yeah, local products. I mean, lots of support for local things. Like,
Locally made things.
yeah, locally made things. I mean, we try
Give
to
us an
do it.
example of something.
I mean, our local. Well, one thing I really like is I like mythology, literature, the aswangs, things like that.
Mm.
I mean, if you like, for example, you like Thai movies because they're like horror, things like that, or I know Japanese movies like the all those things like are really cool, and the mythologies and stuff like the onis and things like that. But hey, we have cool things too. We have the capre, we have these other mythologies here. I mean, I'm literally wearing like a Greek mythology shirt. It's like Nyx, the god of like night and stuff, and like those type of things are people.
Yasas.
Yeah, people.
Yasas. Yasas. Do you know what
Yeah.
yasas mean?
I have no idea.
It's how are you in Greek.
Oh, really?
No, you
Oh,
don't.
really?
You're wearing a Greek mythology shirt and you don't know how to say hello in Greek.
I'm sorry,
Hello.
okay. It just looks cool, okay.
It does. It does. It looks epic.
But
It looks epic.
just
But
why,
yeah.
why do you think that these kind of things are not here in the Philippines?
Basically, there's just a lot about like history. I think that's where history plays a lot of the part about it. Because like Philippines has always been like a destination point. People come here. People like influence. People bring things, and it's really less of like. And we have been like, I guess, over the years, like not just like couple of years, like decades, like hundreds of years of like this is what's better. This is what's great. I mean, even the Santo Niño technically is like brought here from Spain, right? Technically, the
Yeah.
the Sinulog and things. So we've always been like conditioned to like, this is better, this is cooler because it's from outside, and that's something I want to show that you don't have to always look at the greener side, which is outside. You can also just water the same grass here, and it can also be as green.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So back to you. What keeps you busy these days?
Yeah, no, what keeps me busy? God. So I mean, there's the games. I wish it was like games, playing games. But like yeah, just making games, talking to people, learning about different stories and stuff, and really being down there and just making stuff.
Yeah, I
Making
think
cool things.
because we had this conversation before a few weeks ago about if you have a startup, you want to solve a problem, but
Yeah.
are you doing that or like what? How do you see yourself as an entrepreneur? Are you solving any problems or?
Yeah. No, this is the part where we talk about like we had to frame it like I want to frame it as an opportunity, but also like a problem. Because like most right startups and things like they seek to solve something. And what I really see is like I'd rather frame it more as opportunity. Like what exactly am I what target market? Because the thing with games right now are a lot easier to make compared to how many years ago where you have to make your own game engine and you really have to focus on the specific target market, specific group. And that's what we're also trying to do. Specifically, should I go into detail of what we're actually making?
Yeah, let me
Um,
know what are you working on?
Yeah. Oh, for us, what we're working on, it's really it's a visual novel. It's like a proof of concept just to start out with, because right now streaming is a thing, streamers and all this content and whatnot, and what really people have to understand. I mean, there's this thing called parasocialism, right? Like people think like, oh, what they're doing is good. They're doing is like all the right things, but on the other side of the screen, it's a character. It's a basically it's entertainment. And what I want to showcase is just that there are people behind the scenes too. The things like your favorite characters, whatnot, and like for me, that's what I want to showcase with the games we have.
So how do you got to gaming?
Yeah, no, I got the games because I've been playing games. I mean, like,
Can I ask what is your current favorite game right now? What is your all-time favorite?
all-time favorite's always been StarCraft. It has always been StarCraft. No
Okay.
matter like how many people ask me, it's always been StarCraft.
Mm,
Yeah.
So what are the, because I know a little bit like what kind of games you work on, and they're actually quite cool. So what can you say something about what kind of games are you working on at the moment?
Yeah.
Or is it top secret?
Uh,
Ding,
Uh,
ding, ding.
I can't talk about the ones that are in progress, but the
Mhm.
ones that I've worked with before. I guess the ones I worked with before, if you guys know League of Legends, like we got to work on a Riot Forge game, Song of Nunu. It was a League of Legends story RPG. I mean, for those League of Legends players out there,
very popular here, right?
yeah, it's very popular.
Yeah.
I mean, no, working on that IP was like me in the interview, like, hey, I'm here applying for a job. Why are you applying? I want to get AAA experience. And like, what's your favorite games right now? I like StarCraft a lot, but my game right now is League of Legends. I'm like, okay, cool. 1 month later, here's your project. It's a Riot Forge game. It's like, this character is very familiar. Oh, it is League. So yeah, like that's like a cool project got to work on.
So what keeps you up at night?
Yeah, no, what keeps me up at night is really just like waking up and just wondering like I really hope this game succeeds, not just like because at the end of the day it's still a business. At the end of the day people still need to get paid, and I really want to really practice what I preach, man. Like I really want to push that passion as a profession type of thing, because people have to understand that even as much as a creative work, how passionate it is, I still have to keep the lights on. I still have to pay the bills the next month.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the responsibility about it.
So
Does that happen a lot? Does it? You wake up in the middle of the night and you're just like,
Yeah, no, no. It's because like the thing too is like if you ever build a studio and stuff, it's really a responsibility not just for yourself, but
Mm.
if you want to build with people, you
mm,
are responsible for those people, and that's something when you go into this you commit to as well. Like you respect their boundaries. If what is enough for them, are you okay with this type of arrangement? Yeah, it's a lot of
mm,
communication, really.
so what
communication? Yeah.
what are the difficult moments that you had?
Okay, the difficult moments really just be conflict, especially creative conflict. Cause like, unlike if this was, I wish I had a lot of money and just like, yeah, this issue. But what if I give you additional like 5K USD or 2K USD and then we call it quits? And like that's the easiest conversation ever. But unfortunately, we don't have that. And there's the creative differences. Cause like it's not just startups, games. Because games like are a mix of creativeness where, especially if there's an artist and there's an engineer or a designer, and the designer really wants it to look like this, but your like I mean your designer wants it, but your engineer tells you like that is not possible unless you
Yeah.
give me like half
Extra.
a year or extra or half a year, or that's just not
Time
possible.
is money. Money is
Time is money, or do you want me to remake everything from scratch?
So
Or
you find
yeah.
yourself getting into a clash like that a lot. So for example, like is a common thing. You know, I mean, I've developed stuff before in my time where I've built it to the point where I believe that it's perfected and it's
Yeah.
good, and it looks the part. But the moment the client gets it, they're like, oh no,
Yeah,
they
no,
want to change everything. And sometimes they get to a point where they change everything to a point where it's just not functional anymore.
yeah, no, that's something I learned early on, learning to say no.
And that you find that can push you to kind of like quit. Like you ever get to a breaking point like where I'm like, you know,
Yeah, no, that is the case. There are times where it's not worth the money. No matter how much money they give you, it's like you would prefer your peace of mind, your portfolio. Because if you're banging against the wall trying to convince them that hey, this is the plan, this is great, but if you don't see it, I think it's better we start seeing like different groups of people exploring different opportunities. Because
that just makes you
Yeah.
just drop the mic.
yeah, just drop the mic. Cause like cause like there's a point in time where enough is enough, basically. Yeah.
That's
So-
fascinating. You know, it's very difficult in those respects of getting to a point where you feel like it's better to say no, and just be polite about it, and just say,
Yeah,
"Look,
yeah. No, cause a lot of
yes.
people here don't know how to say no.
Mm.
That's also one thing like I've noticed also. Cause like
Can
peop-
also rely a lot on your scheduling and also your workload.
yeah.
You know, if someone hasn't had work for a while, I guess they can be pressured into that point where they want to quit. So
Yeah.
it's just interesting, very interesting to know.
So how does a day for you? How does it look like? What do? You get up and then
I
What is a
mean-
day in the life?
Yeah.
A day in the life.
I just everyone dreams about being busy with games and stuff. Like what do?
Or
Like you
sitting
get
on a
up,
sunbed on the beach
like-
with a margarita in your hand.
yeah, or
We all work to that moment,
yeah,
though.
I-
Right?
I imagine get a cup of coffee and then turn on GTA 5 and just
GTA 5.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, all right, okay.
While
then-
we're waiting for GTA 6, we got the Stellar Spark show before GTA 6.
Yeah.
yeah, no,
I know.
GTA. Oh my god, the amount of jokes that GTA 6 has, I
It's
swear.
everywhere, right?
It's
Everywhere
everywhere.
you go.
No, like there was like, when the trailer got announced, people made spoofs of that trailer from
Yeah.
different.
It's
Like
insane.
no, one funny thing was like there's a studio like as if you generate enough hype, all you need to do is a Twitter post.
Wow.
If you have that much trust in your branding, like
yeah.
what's your marketing plan? Just do a Twitter post and all the reporters and things just flock in, or like, oh, they're canceling their meeting. Why? The game just launched. It's like, okay, got it. Yeah, no, those for some reason this industry has those moments.
So as a programmer myself, I mean, the first thing that I really do when I wake up is just like I first check my emails, and then I probably would. That's it. Go and do a quick game on something, and just get that peace while my brain is loading. How about you?
Yeah, and for me, it's like it's very different compared to before. Oh God, but I would give you two routines. Like okay, I'm not gonna say like write three like praise this for yourself. I'm not gonna give that. Like, but really like okay, cause starting out into games back then it was crazy. It was like it's not a structured thing. I just like take a bath, shower, eat some breakfast, go to the office, and things like that. Now it's a lot more structured. I prefer it a lot more. Where wake up early, wake up 6 a.m., prepare breakfast, everything, the regular stuff. Get every life thing out of the way, then just slide into deep work. Like the one mentioned, open email, go into deep work, then afternoon filled with meetings.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. Just because we were talking about like games and
Yeah.
and jokes, I think like a month ago there was a game release, right? And it was a very bad game. What was the name of it?
Which get it's like
There was a game that they released and then it didn't work, and then they actually took it out and they gave a refund to everyone. How?
I'm not sure if that's that game. No, I was like, which
You know,
game?
you
Which
gotta
game?
be careful. Is it one of mine?
I was like,
No,
no.
I will find it out. But what the way
Careful
to
what
get
you
to a game? Yeah, but I'm just interested. Like, how long are you actually working on a game before it actually get released?
Oh God, this is the reason why I didn't want to go into AAA. Like after, because I've been working for a while, like in the company, it's like 5 years. Like if I add up all my game dev experience, I guess it's like 7 years, both indie, AAA, and everything between. And games really take long if you want it to take long. Some games take a decade. Some games never finish. Some games get, I don't know. I don't think that one star something game has been released yet with over $800 million of funding already, or it's almost 1 billion, I think. Or a game could also reach like $200 million in funding and add another $200 million from the publisher, and then it gets pulled out. I'm not sure if that's the same game we're talking about or
I
what you
think
mentioned.
I find it. It's Mind's Eye.
The former GTA devs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Do you find it common then? Do you think it's common that when a company would drop a game and it flops because they didn't, go the extra mile or invest the extra money? Is that normally the main reason why
Yeah,
it would happen?
it's less of the money, really. It's just more of
The strategy.
strategy, target market. That's why, like earlier, I mentioned like a lot about target market. Because like, hey, Mind's Eye, right? It's also like a lot about like GTA. So they're like, looking to make something like GTA.
So a
and
lot of people
stuff.
are gotta like think it's competing with the
Yeah,
same.
competing in it. Or like the other game that flopped. What's it called? Splitgate.
Oh, yeah.
Splitgate.
Yeah.
No, because it was good. I like the concept. It's
Yeah.
like if you play Portal, it's like okay, Portal, but FPS and like, hey, that's cool. I can do things with the portals. But like, it's like a slippery slope. Once you start like making statements and stuff,
Mm.
it's like it could backfire real fast.
Did you
Yeah.
ever work on something that never saw the daylight?
Yeah, I mean the first indie game, indie studio I worked in here. Back it was like the first one of the first indie studios here in Cebu. It's called Red Trident Games. We made like a co-op game called Twinkle Torch or Duo Sync, and all we have is a demo. Because the end of the day, it was like, where do we get the publishers? The part was we had a game, but the problem was we didn't have the knowledge of the entrepreneurship idea. We're just people like, hey, this is a cool thing, and then like people would just throw money at this, right? And like,
So
yeah,
that's sitting in an archive somewhere, unreleased.
yeah. No, we posted it online. It's in our portfolio, but like the ownership rights. This is like the IP things, right? Like
Mm.
who owns what? Because the deals with publishers usually like they buy your IP or they
Mm.
buy your company, but most of the time it's the IP. So you can't really like I can't make a sequel to my own game because the rights of the game is with the publisher. Yeah,
Mm.
those type of deals happen a lot.
What's
more
a sample
frequently.
IP? Give me another sample IP. What's one of the names?
Um, this is more Japanese. This is Danganronpa, I think. I
Are we
forgot.
talking like Activision and these kind of publishers like
Oh, no.
EA Games?
Oh, it's EA. I cannot really like comment a lot about EA, but because like I mean, EA just owns a lot of things. So I'm like,
I can
some-
imagine.
So like,
But that's an example of an IP
Yeah.
for our listeners and for our viewers who are trying to figure out what an IP is.
Shadow Mordor. Shadow Mordor. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like remember the Nemesis system, the one the orcs, right? I'm not sure if you played like Shadow Mordor, or Lord of the Rings,
No,
right?
I know
Basically,
the orcs.
yeah, but basically it was a cool system where you kill one of the orcs, they respawn, and like depending on how you kill them, you shoot an arrow in the eye, or like I don't know, like something the one eyed, or like
Oh, they
you-
respawn with like a one eye.
yeah, with one eye. Yeah, that's why like it's very dynamic, so you really feel like part of the story, and it's like a unique thing in like the games
That's
thing.
interesting.
Yeah, and the sad thing now is they shut down that studio.
Hmm.
They shut down that studio. They made new tech for it. They shut it down because there's
So they came
no-
back bigger, or they just
Uh,
left everything.
EA shut it down, the studio,
Ah.
basically, because it was like an investment run. But a lot of the industry's been going to live service. Apex Legends, Valorant, games that never die. World of Warcraft, best example.
Okay, so last question about it. Like, what is the coolest thing that you're working on right now? Like,
The most exciting, coolest. I guess you can't say really.
I mean-
If it's
oh,
like
just
cool.
without dropping names.
I mean, I guess the coolest I can say I've been working on is just like a godlike roguelike. That's really all I can say.
Okay,
A godlike
like
rogue.
roguelike, yeah, like that's really like all
So
I
a
can
god
say.
that
Like,
goes rogue.
yeah, no, like I don't know, you fight a god basically.
Oh,
Yeah.
That sounds interesting.
so in this in timeline wise, when can we really play it?
Yeah, no, it's I can't give a timeline for it, but like right, that's
Tomorrow.
really- tomorrow. No, release dates will get like if I, say a
can just see
release.
this, I can see this little laser dot on his shirt. You know, like they're
Yeah.
watching you, bro.
Yeah.
Not too
Yeah,
much
fair.
information, huh?
Okay, cool. Why would you call yourself entrepreneurial?
I guess I call myself entrepreneurial is because like it's well, not just the risk, but really like um having that initiative to follow your idea and follow through. Because there's a lot of people who have great ideas, nice ideas, but the follow through, the execution, not many actually do it. I mean, the execution doesn't have to be 100% perfect. You just have to have God, I feel like one of those talks online that talks like bias to action. Yeah, that's like the bias to action. Like you don't have to get it right off the bat, but you kind of have to start doing it because
Yeah.
it's not just for the people, right, to see it, but also for yourself. Do I actually want to do this? Why can't I just like go get a normal day job and just like enjoy my pay every 30 days and do that for the rest of my life? Or and retire somewhere in an island. Wait, okay, that's in Cebu, but like retire in an
If
island.
you ever got to the point where you could retire and go live on an island, would you still find yourself building games, or would you just shut down completely? And
I
just,
probably would. But like I probably would still make games because I just like enjoying making
That's it.
games.
That's
It
it.
just treat it less more of, hey, I need to
That's it,
make
like,
this
if you
for
had
money.
all the money in the world, I'd still work a job.
Yeah, it's still
Because what would you do with your time? I can't stay still.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. If I had all that money, I'd throw it to people that can make cool games too. Yeah, it's like,
So
it's just cool.
so you're entrepreneur. Would you also call yourself an entrepreneur or not?
Yeah, at this point, yeah, like just the responsibility and like the bias to action to it, and just doing it basically, because not many take that leap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
And on your, because you're also active in like community building.
yeah,
Tell me a little bit more about that.
yeah. Oh no, like community building. I wasn't even in game dev when I started community building. I mean, I met Queer Magic before like the station was a thing too. I mean, Archon, anime, RPG, comics, hobbies convention, started like volunteering since 2014. And really, that's where my love for cosplay, anime, and technically games came from. That's how I met a guy who's like, "Hey, we have a game dev studio here." I was like, "You have a game dev studio here? Can like I apply or as an intern or something?" And that's kind of like how I started the journey. And I realized that I had to choose. I had to choose of like, should I still build community stuff for cosplay, esports things, or find my new friend, my new best friend, game development? And I realized, yeah, I have to stick with this because the focus is really, really important. Because if I was that rich or that amount of time, I would do everything, but I'm not.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So what was kind of like the turning point in that you thought like, okay, this is something that I want, but I'm also really are gonna take action to do like cool stuff.
I mean, okay. Everyone take this with a grain of salt. 'Cause I remember we're live and stuff. Like, do not run away from home. I did that. I do not run away from home. Do not sleep in front of a church. Do not do that. That will not guarantee your safety. I thought it was a good idea. I
Yeah.
was like, like no, imagine, man. Like I was like couch surfing and everything because like I really like games. I really enjoyed it, and it was very hard convincing like my parents, my family, or even other people like games is a viable industry, a viable option for you to actually earn money from. And yeah, and for me, that just going through that and like pouring in like the hours and whatnot and really lacking sleep. Don't also do that, please. Get 8 hours of sleep, folks. But yeah, like
Why
no, it's very important. I mean, a lot of people like
8
just, yeah,
is the magic number?
8 or whatever works for you. Could be 7, could be 6.
But just like the age, how old were you?
I was like 23, 24. Wait, I have to like subtract 2018. I'm 20. Oh God, people don't believe me. Okay, I'm 28. I'll be 29 this year. Yeah, so wait, so going 24, 23 around that range.
So could you imagine when you're like on school, university? I don't know what you did, but could you imagine then that what you're doing right now or not?
No, I did not imagine. I expected myself to be a web developer. I expected myself to
Yeah.
come in, make a website, client tell me what to do, and I turn off my brain after it's work hours. It's a very safe path, and a lot of people I respect that too. Like a lot of people do like just want to stick with a day job. It's a lot more peaceful.
Yeah.
But for me, I just gravitate to. I like cool things. I want to make cool things, and I swear, me doing even these talks, going to events, I find it fun. I'm sure a lot of people find it as just work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we have this. I have this discussion with a lot of people here in the Philippines that surviving mentality, right? It's something that is very common here in the Philippines. Is that if you finish your school, they expect you to work, right?
Yeah, work.
Um, you know, did you take a risk to do that? It seems like you take a risk.
Yeah,
but-
yeah.
But why did you take that risk?
Because for me, I really took the risk because I really believed in it. I really believed that there was this like opportunity to do it. And I don't know, I just logicked it in my head where worst case scenario, I go back, beg my parents to take me back home
Yeah.
and like go back, finish college, which actually did end up happening where the first studio died, Red Trident like died out and stuff. Things really happened. And then I went back to school, like asked my parents for forgiveness and things. And I guess like all the learnings I got from that attempt to try to do an indie game studio still paid off. I mean, it got me like these opportunities too. It got me, I have lots of friends now over in like different studios, like outside just the Philippines and stuff. And just opens up my mind a lot where I don't know what I don't know. And a lot of the games industry is like, if you don't know, you just ask. And this is a passion passion driven, hit driven, usually industry, and people just want to see you succeed, man. I swear, the amount of people,
Yeah.
just don't talk to the business people. Business people will just ask you how much money can they like times 100 you, but like, but like the people who actually do the games, like do the art, do the programming, they do it because like, hey, it's fun. It's not the same as like that's why I always argue with like the opportunity and the problem thing because people do solve problems, right?
Yeah.
And it pays,
Mm.
but like no one just wants to like solve a problem for fun, or like maybe some do, but like it doesn't come as naturally as like, hey, I want to play a game or make a toy and stuff like that. Why? Because it's fun, and you don't need a deeper reason why. It's just because it's fun. Yeah.
Interesting.
What kind of kid were you like on university?
What kind of kid? I was in university. Ah, oh god. Wait. All right. Okay. This is something that. Okay, I understand why my parents told me off from like not joining any what's all this um council because I mean I embodied being like the extracurricular kid basically. I mean I 2014 organizing volunteering for events. That's what I was doing. But that was what because my parents didn't let me join the council. Like I got a opportunity to join the engineering council. A friend of mine invited me to attend an event in Hong Kong because like I met someone back in like high school and like they do talks too and like they can bring someone like I just had to pay for my airfare, but my parents were like, no, you have to focus on your studies, get a job, the usual, right? The one you explained,
Yeah.
like the usual like trajectory. And for me, it was like I don't know. I guess I have that natural itch where I just wanna do something, and because for some reason I'm very vocal about the things I do, people gravitate. I mean, other than the extracurricular, I was the esports, League of Legends, Canton boy kid, where
Canton boy.
yeah,
kid.
Canton boy kid, the Pancit Canton, like
Oh, yeah.
the net cafe, like
Yeah.
the. Don't worry, I never broke any keyboards, and I didn't. I was not the raging kid. I was just like the things I cannot speak on air kid.
Cool.
Yeah, like oh god, League of Legends toxicity. But yeah, and we for some reason they liked me enough where we made a team. The one cool story about that too. That's like a okay. My path could have diverged as well. If I didn't want to be a day job person or game dev, I actually got to play with people who were from Blacklist International.
Mm.
Yeah, like the pro team and stuff. Because it was one funny day where, oh, this is a scrim group, right? Like new games out, people want to play with each other, and then what happened was like, oh, what happened to the group page? Why is it called Blacklist International? And I look it up. Hey, it's the guy I used to play with during beta, and he's part of the pro team now.
Wow.
So I'm like, why didn't I just like continue playing the game? I could have been a pro gamer too. And now I'm like, no, I don't think I can catch up to playing the same game every day, reading the meta every day, and keeping up. It's a job.
Mm.
Like people going to pro, like wanting to do pro gaming, it's a job by itself. You have to study. It's like every day.
Yeah.
But
So,
yeah,
so what kind of personality would you say? You know, you have a special kind of blood type, I would say. What is the personality that got you here?
the personality that got me here. People would say I'm extroverted. I just feel like I'm just like a loud introvert sometimes. Because like,
Yeah.
no, because like people think like I'm extroverted because I talk a lot, I yap a lot, I share. But deep inside, I enjoy like sitting down at a cafe, reading a book, and like that's how I regenerate my energy. Because like it's very fun talking to people, but like nowadays it's just like time for myself to like where exactly am I at in life, things like that, and what do I want to do next? It's like that. And for me, it's less about like the personality that brings you there, but being able to communicate it. Because you can be an introvert too,
Mm.
Yeah.
or if you can't really communicate, you get adopted by an extrovert. That's also one thing. No, sometimes that does happen with some of my friends.
But I find it interesting because you know the Philippines with Stellar PH we also do technopreneurship courses in the university. There's not a lot of room for an extrovert in university.
Hmm.
How did you do you think the same or
Yeah, no. It's not even just university. It's actually just in I think the culture here locally in Filipino culture in general, where it's just very very hard to get people to speak their mind.
yeah
Like and not just like speak their mind, like yes sir or yes ma'am, and call it a day, and they just like if you tell them to run into a wall, they will run into a wall because why? You told them to do it, or like they basically won't call you out if you're wrong, and like that is something that's very very common, and I would still attribute it to history and stuff like that because we've just been used to being told what to do, and asking is rude. I mean that has happened to me. I ask sometimes I ask too many questions
But
where
it's always good to ask a lot of questions. You know,
Yeah.
it's always, that's one thing that I learned, and everybody learns, the more you ask, the more you speak.
Yeah.
yeah, but it's in here. It's not. It's considered rude sometimes because you're expected to just like
Well, it's either that or you're going to end up, wondering, what if I didn't?
To get a person that doesn't understand what you're doing, go to the next one, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
it's actually like an abundance
Because
mindset.
trust me, when you get up there and you're up there, they'll come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll be like, oh, that thing you talked about, are you still open? I'm sorry.
Ah,
I'm already a billionaire
Yeah.
now. I don't need you.
no, and we have this conversation with Kuya Magic a lot. Is about failure is very important, but it seems like it's very difficult to fail in this country. While failing is a way how to learn very quickly
Mm.
what you should do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
What are your biggest failures, and what did you learn from that?
Oh god, biggest failures and why oh god. Whenever I think about like target market, because that was like a biggest. This wasn't even like a game dev thing. That was like it was a event thing where I invited a guest. I thought she had like a really good following. It flopped so hard, 0 tickets were sold for her meet and greet. I think one, or was it just me? God, but yeah, it was that bad. They're like taking the responsibility where can't really believe all the numbers because I thought like the numbers told me her demographic was here, but then I realized I guess the buying power of that demographic was not there. So I was like, oh god, I feel like it's like I should have done research on the pricing about how it's gonna work. And for me, that's like one. The other thing was also okay. This was game related. Was really just scope. Telling people you have to cut content from a game is never easy. Like the hardest part is like you feel responsible whenever you break the heart of an artist that they spent like I guess 2 weeks or some people a month working on a piece of art, and you tell them like the deadline's next month or next week, and we don't have time to integrate this thing into like the project, and then like it's basically a lot of things get left on the cutting room floor basically, and that's not easy. Just like a hard thing to just even just say or mention, because how do you bounce back from that? It's like, yeah, I'm throwing away your work, all the work you did for the past month. Like, yeah, it's not easy.
So do you still see yourself fail in the future?
Yeah, no, most likely. I will still see myself to like fail and stuff. And like
Acceptance of failure is always something that will bring success.
Yeah.
yeah, because you only really okay. Right, I feel like I'm ripping off a movie script, but like you only really fail if you stop trying. Oh god,
Yes.
Yeah.
what
deep voice.
with the deep voice? Yeah, with like the
I mean, it's
Yeah, yeah.
it's a cliche, but,
But yeah.
a lot of cliches actually.
failure without fail.
English
true.
101.
I
but
mean,
yeah.
failure is a key point to our success. You have those people that don't like to be told that their business could improve,
Mm.
or their game could improve, or there are people that work very hard to produce the best product they can for someone, and it should be there in a written agreement
Yeah.
in your mind that there is a chance that this might not make it into the game, or it might get cut from the game. I mean, movies, for example,
Yeah.
you know how much uncut content gets cut out, and then you come out with like the director's cut, and you come out with all these versions. So it still brings that avenue of that kind of thing in. Sorry, I'm kind of elaborating on the failure thing
yeah,
because
but
Yeah.
I wouldn't be here without failures.
Yeah.
yeah.
So if they tell you tomorrow you cannot make any game anymore,
Ooh.
what are you gonna do?
I mean, who are they to tell me what to do? But also
There
just
you
like
go.
I'm also just like I'm making games for myself at this point. For other people, it's like and that I guess that's the other like freedom when you do like entrepreneurship. You follow your ideas and things like you kind of like instead of giving your destiny or something to other people, you kind of grab it and just like mold it to where you want to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think about the startup scene here in the Philippines?
I think this okay, that's like a scary question. But yeah, a startup scene, I think there's just a lot of people who are very creative, are like still very idealistic, I would say. Because like when I say like ask questions, talk a lot, I was also in that same boat. I also thought about like, right, making this like game and then suddenly all the money will come. It doesn't work that way. You have to talk about it. Even if you think it's a good idea, you have to convince the investor. And like I think for me the startup scene just like is still like in that phase where these are really cool ideas. These are things that can help people and whatnot.
Yeah.
But the problem is it's not that you have to convince the people that need it.
Mhm.
You have to convince the people with the bag, with the money, with
Yeah.
those are the people you have to convince.
Yeah.
And most of the time, the people with the bag are not altruistic. They're not there for the
Or they're not gonna like
Yeah.
what you've done.
yeah, like exactly, or like what you've done. It's like you have to ask questions, talk, align, because it's same with games. I mean, if I was making a first-person game, why would I pitch to a publisher that does RPGs? Like it's the same case. You look for an investor that best matches you or supports the same initiative you have. But yeah, at least that's like went really far from
And
like
that's
the
how
startup
Flappy Bird was made.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh god.
That guy went independent, and got closed down, and then they took the game off the market. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's like Angry Birds too. I mean Rovio
Yeah.
too. It's just a drawing. This is like the last ditch effort.
Niantic. I used to
Yeah.
work for Niantic, so it's
Yeah.
like those guys built Pokemon Go, and they just didn't know what they were doing. And I'm so glad that the new PCG is not by them anymore. And
Yeah.
I think Niantic's biggest problem. I know you're watching.
Yep.
Ex-employee here. They didn't like structural criticism. They didn't like what people said. You know, this caused so much issues. And I think you find yourself in your position when you're working independent or freelance or as a team. You know, there's always obstacles that can really kind of like grind in you to
Yeah.
fail your mindset. You know, so you will lose, focus, and then you end up just booing the whole thing or dossing.
Yeah,
So.
like those are like the things too. I mean, Hideo Kojima, right? Hideo Kojima,
Yeah,
Metal Gear Solid.
Metal Gear Solid, one of the
Yeah.
legendary games ever.
Yeah, ever. And then like there's
You
like
know that Metal Gear Solid would always have a cutscene that would wish you a birthday. Happy birthday.
Oh, is
yeah.
it? Oh.
And there, yeah.
So if
No,
it was your birthday and you logged into the game, they'd sing happy birthday.
Ah,
yeah.
nice.
I mean, no, you see the latest Death Stranding.
Yeah.
Death Stranding is like, oh god.
Yeah, it's like
he's
you open the
still-
game, they're singing happy birthday to you. These kind of
Yeah.
things are what kind of like you can take a failure thing and turn it around. And that's one thing that I really wanted to kind of ask you is it's like, have you ever had a point where you've made a failure in game development and then you've turned it around and then you've been like, it works?
Huh. I hope I reach that point where it works, but like where it turns it around.
We can dream, Harold.
we can dream. There is the dream, cause like, I'm still like there in that phase where I'm exploring like all the things I've learned from the past years. Cause like, yeah, I take Red Trident really for example. Cause that was one where there was no like. The best way to turn around was I went back to college. I guess does that count as success? But like, yeah, no, that like that's the survivorship bias basically. Like if ever like a game that does succeed, but when I do think about it, no, it's hard. I don't really think there's something that either I turned around or just made something new. Cause like
I
instead
think
of
that's it right there. I think that's
Yeah.
it. It's like you've know what you've done wrong. You know what to do to fix it. You come back, you bounce back.
Yeah.
yeah,
simple
yeah,
as.
basically. Like instead of like trying to salvage the same IP, same product, just pick up what I learned from that, make a new one, and then just like basically make a new game. Whatever we learned from there.
So, knowing what you know now, what would you tell your younger self, bro?
I would really tell him to just like, please.
Don't sleep outside the church.
Yeah, don't sleep outside the church. That does not guarantee your safety.
Is that why you did it?
yeah, that's why. That's why.
so cool, dude.
No, cause like no, cause I mean I only ate like once a day. You know, like dehydration, like hunger and stuff. Like I already couch surfed to like I lost count of like I feel bad from couch surfing from my friend's place. I was like, oh, what should I do? I don't know what to do. I'll just sleep here outside. the
That
church.
would be your key point.
Yeah, it's like yeah. I mean finding myself, but really like yeah.
Telling yourself, thoughts.
Yeah, thank you. So, but like, but yeah, no. But if I were to, yeah, what
That's just gut instinct, isn't it? You know,
Yeah.
like you wanna run away from everything to get focused, and you're really kind of scared. So I can imagine
yeah,
that.
and I guess the other one is just really to tell myself just continue, not just ask questions, but like don't be afraid of my own opinion, basically.
Mm.
Because like,
That's
I've-
it. That's it.
because right now I'm very outspoken. I wish I was this outspoken
I
back in college.
I love it.
back in
Energy
college.
is come forth.
like
It's
like because that's how I don't know, like right now here, I mean, talking with you guys, talking with people, because if I wish I had this amount of energy, because I feel like this amount of like openness,
yeah.
and it invites people to also listen, and invites people, and I like learning things. I like learning, so that's why like I have a lot of friends. Like there's like I have a very good friend in EA. That's also why I cannot talk about EA. I was like, I'm
We have
very
to cut
good
that
friend.
segment. We have to cut that segment.
But yeah.
I played the wrong sound.
Play
effect.
your own sound effect.
Sorry, I don't know what that last one was.
But yeah, that's why like it's a lot of general things. Because the games industry is very small. Like if you think about it, it's very 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 small.
It's just very small, or you have big players that make
Yeah.
you feel small.
Yeah, maybe the big players.
I think that's
It's
where,
a-
is it where it's
yeah.
that's how I feel. I feel like all these big companies are kind of like bullying all the smaller ones.
yeah, and
But look at Grow Garden on Roblox. The guy is
Yeah.
16 years old. You know, he came
Yeah.
out and some guy came along, bought it, made it better, and now it's 25 million
Yeah.
players,
yeah, no,
which is bigger than any game that has online. So
Yeah.
it's incredible to say, like, it doesn't matter how big or how small you are, and how much you fail and how much you succeed. If you have what it takes and have that moment, like this game.
yeah,
I never thought when I heard the game, I thought I'd never catch myself planting plants, never. But now I can't stop.
yeah, no, like actually, like
I set my alarm every hour to pick my garden, bro.
Yep.
I've never done that before. Never. So it's insane. Sorry about them.
okay, no worries.
This isn't endorsed or anything by Grow Garden, but it is what it is.
So if you need to give an advice to somebody that's now watching us or listening to us and thinks like, I actually have a dream, but I'm afraid to tell it to other people, what would be your advice?
I mean, just do it. Just like the fear is temporary.
Yeah, but I want
But-
something more, because just do it sometimes is not enough. Like, what is your personal advice to
Tell
somebody?
us. Tell us now.
I guess the personal advice is just like if you have an idea, you tell it to someone who can actually do things about it. Like you can or ask
Don't keep it
someone.
to yourself.
Yeah, don't keep it to yourself, and not just like the just do it part, but like just the someone who actually has power to do it, like influence or do stuff.
You also have to
'Cause,
find
like-
someone you trust as well. I
Yeah, some
guess.
yeah. someone you trust too. But also like for me, it's just like you don't have to be afraid. It's just an idea, man. I mean,
Mm.
I swear, you steal my idea, it actually succeeds. Wow, that was a good idea. It's like, damn. It's like, but at that point in time, you kind of realize like, hey, if I just put in the same amount of effort of like that idea,
Do it yourself.
why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, so it's less of I'm so protective of my idea because like that's what I always tell people in the games industry because some people still hide all their game design within like all these layers of NDAs because it's like really release heavy dates. And I'm like, do you think players actually enjoy this game? like
Goodness me.
like it's a different
But that's to be
paradigm.
expected, You got to have those protections in place.
Yeah, and also you could be. This is what I keep telling people.
I have an idea, but can
Yeah.
you sign this paper, bro?
yeah,
It's just inconvenient.
like
But it doesn't
yeah,
reassure
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also the other things also like be careful of the advice you take too.
Mm.
Cause like this is something I really tell people like if for example I wanted to know about games.
Mhm.
I like for example like playing League. I like playing Minecraft.
Mhm.
So I talk to the people who build League, who build Minecraft. I mean,
Mhm.
we have the internet now. And like be careful who you ask advice to. Kay, is if you're asking advice to like, hey, a business person who set up like I guess a multi-billion-dollar business for I guess soap. And then what ends up happening, he gives you all the advice how to optimize processes, how to build this and that, how to earn money and release a game. I mean, release a product every year. I don't know, maybe something like Call of Duty, right? Call of Duty releases every year. That's kind of what happened.
That's a
to
great soap game.
yeah, great. Great. Yeah, so yeah, there's a because that's what happened with Activision and Blizzard when they merged. Because
Mm.
Activision
Because
released
I was going to bring that up. Yeah.
yeah, like no, because when you read through it,
Yeah.
when you read, because I have the book like Play Nice. It's like a book like from chronicling different interviews from different people.
Can you imagine that?
It's like
Literally was an active blizzard, as they say.
yeah, and then like
Some
Blizzard,
things aren't meant to be together.
yeah, like Activision is like really clashing mentalities. Cause like for me, I embodied Blizzard more. That's why I love Blizzard.
All I
Blizzard's
can
a
say
dream
to that, sorry
company.
to interrupt you, but all I can
Ours.
say to that is don't fix what's not broken.
Yeah.
That's what I got to say to that situation. I don't know
Yeah.
what happened there. That's that. There's going to be a little box here. There's going to be a little box here. Click this to watch more information. Or me go into detail on that one. Sorry.
No,
From your perspective, do you think that you can actually live an entrepreneurial life in the Philippines?
yeah, you can. There's like, and the example is not even me. I mean, I'm trying to figure out if it's for me, but there are studios, there are startups who actually can do that. And it's really just finding out your niche, finding out your specific market and validating it first. Don't just like, okay,
Validating is important.
don't just like leave your day job. Okay, if you want to do this, there's no requirement where you have to do it like me, sleep outside the church or like things like that, or I know, take out a small loan of $1 million or something like.
Yeah.
You know, don't
Yeah.
just do that. Don't
Is it-
put yourself in debt.
Is there anything that we're missing here in the Philippines that should be helpful for young entrepreneurs?
I think the helpful thing would really just be like the government. I mean, that's like the ubiquitous thing, but the government's like a lot of they do a lot just to just the public in general. That does just really enable it a lot because a lot of the other like from what I know successful like startups when are like that are not like worried about running out of money the next month.
Yeah.
They're more into the private sector. Like the private sector can fund things much more directly and there's lesser red tape, there's lesser approvals and things like that. That doesn't mean they don't pay tax. Of course they pay tax, but the approvals and things are more aligned. And just people just have to understand that there is nothing wrong if somebody really just invests in you because they want more money. Because
Yeah.
there's honestly,
that's
that is,
it's business, right?
it's
Yeah,
business.
Yeah.
So some people are turned off by that. I'm like, just talk about it. It's not a taboo thing to talk about the money part. It's
Yeah, but
yeah.
also, if you look at the private sector, do you think that the private sector really understands the value of, just startups in general?
not all. It's a select. It's a select part of the private sector. It's the basically like the people who I don't know who do golf. Or basically like who do like a lot of like because they pass it by connections. Basically, it's like who you know type of thing. At least here in the Philippines,
Yeah.
because of how the networks are.
Big shout out to Ways of John tuning in. What's up? Hello. So, guys, if you are listening and tuning in, you feel free to engage with us. We are not live on FM at the moment, but due to a thunder lightning bolt that hit our antenna. But we are here on YouTube's, TikToks, and Facebooks. So, guys, if you do have any questions, comments, please do drop them so we can get onto that in the next segment. But yeah, one of the things that's really interesting about this whole entire structure, this is our first show, and it's really interesting to actually kind of get into your mind because you just don't know who's watching. And
It's just nice, I know you. We've talked before, and it's just sometimes I talk to people, and they should just have like 10 minutes with you to see how you can actually do it here, right? It's very simple. It's maybe a mindset thing, or it's just talk about what you really want, and there are people that can help you. I mean, that's also why we started Stellar PH. But there's a lot of help in the country. It's just tell what you
connecting the dots.
Yeah, just let people know what you want, and if people think it's crazy, yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Crazy is not bad. Yeah.
Crazy is not bad. The bad of the craziness.
I mean, that's like a lot of indie games. A lot. I mean,
That's a new game title right there,
yeah,
isn't it?
That's a new game title. I mean, like a lot of indie games are just like that. I mean,
Or The Church.
the yeah, the isn't it a movie? The Church.
Maybe
Actually, yeah, that I
maybe
think-
a game of your life. in the
Yeah.
future.
I was gonna say that.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, game of my
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. Guy wakes up in front of a church.
In front of a church. I mean, that's like that. That's like every save point. Instead of a bonfire, you go sleep in front of a church, and that's
Yeah.
where you're saved.
There's some things I want to say, but I can't say it on air. I just know there's gonna be people like, did you really say that?
yeah.
You know? That's it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the other fun. There's just like so many crazy, funny stories, especially in games. There's like I have a friend who owns an indie studio, and like, does your studio actually own a mountain? Because like, why not? Because they enjoy camping.
Yeah, yeah.
To like take away the stress. Like, so you have a studio.
Yes, we do own a mountain.
I was like, this is a business expense. I was like, this is a business expense.
We're
Really?
at the top here. We are at the top.
Oh, that's
You
true.
can't
Yeah,
get
you
any
can-
higher than where we are. We are 3,000 feet closer to heaven right up here.
Yeah, we are.
yeah.
Yeah, cool. Great story, and I think this is. I mean, this is our first episode of
It
Stella
is our
Spark, and-
pilot episode, our very first one. And, you know, when me and Piotr met not so long ago, we kind of had a great talk. We got along so well. And you know, we kind of envisioned something would brew here. And I'm so happy to be here
Yeah.
in this element with my shirt. Yes, which I only found out I am an XL in Filipino size.
Yeah. And also,
And we got a chance for you guys at home, for our watchers and listeners, to win some of this merch as well. So, you know, it's really interesting to get hold of something that you've seen in a show. I find it so fun. You know, I always stick to the end to figure out how. So if you would like to get yourselves hand on some merch, all you need to do is just drop down some comments and, you know, about your experiences. And I guess we can do something like that. I didn't even know.
oh yeah, drop a comment and tell your dream. Let us know.
Yeah.
What do you want
Yeah.
to build?
And who knows? You never know.
Yeah, and
You might be here one day.
Yeah.
On this show. Oh, you never know, bro. The one who's watching right now might be your new
Like,
developer of
the-
the church game.
I know somebody with a lot of money and just like that's a really
The
cool
story
idea.
of your
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, like that does happen where like somebody could just like that's actually a really cool game idea. Can you send me your pitch deck or something like?
We'll look
oh,
back
you-
on this episode in 4 years'
Yeah.
time, and it's just the thing on Roblox.
Yep.
Just you sleeping outside, whacking people.
Whacking people on church. I mean, there was like a game we made where just like breaking and repairing roads, and then you
That
earn
sounds
money.
fun.
Yeah. I was like, and then like, oh yeah, because people here in the country kind of know what happens to the roads. yeah,
that's a nice.
That's a good
yeah.
idea, bro.
Yeah.
That would
Born
that
here.
would go that would trend, bro. That would no, I'm serious. That would go viral. That would be so funny, bro.
I should like look for that game now.
Your,
Actually,
your
it's
dinner's
not-
ready, Koya Magic. No, what are you doing? Too busy breaking roads that don't need fixing.
Yeah, breaking roads, earning money. Yeah. Okay, and actually, now that you say it, like maybe I should revisit it and push it to a publisher. Thank you. Oh God.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Great story, and like
It
I
is
said,
fascinating.
you're an example for a lot of people. You know your passion, and I really hope that if just one person listen to this and thinks like, okay, I'm gonna start my own business right now. That's already
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like I mean, like if I can plug like what even our studio is, like
You know
Yeah.
what, bro? If like I said, if you got
Yeah.
any socials or your websites, or
Yeah.
if you have any
Yeah.
promo codes, bro. Everybody loves promo codes. You've been waiting for this moment. I'm gonna make a jingle. Promo modes. The promo bid. Where can we find you, bro?
yeah. No, but right now we're still like in stealth mode. Nothing's still like live. I'll probably post like probably in the coming months. So when we'll go live, just to like sort things out and stuff.
So do you have anywhere like a social or website or anything like that
Nope,
as of
nope,
now?
nope, not yet. It's all
Sheesh,
it's
so
all
you'll just
stealth
kind
mode.
of keep yourself
Yeah.
in the back.
Yeah, because like but the one thing I just wanted to share really was like the studio name, because the studio
Okay.
we kind of like called it Escape the Day Job games.
Escape
the day
the
job.
day job.
Yeah, like I mean,
That's the studio name.
yeah, the studio name that is registered. That is registered.
nice.
That
So
is
it's ES.
yeah Escape EDJ games basically, or game development service. But yeah, basically.
Escape the day job.
Yeah, because like what we wanted to do was really just make games that don't become a day job, don't become a live service where you
That's
hook
interesting.
yourself into for like, because some
Wow.
people go into games and they clock in like what you mentioned, right? You
Yeah.
put like
Yeah.
you just put a timer when they clock in. You like, are you really playing the game?
Uh.
I want games that are more self-contained experiences. Like you basically lose yourself from your day job, you enjoy it and stuff for a while, then you go back because you have to pay the bills, you have to have a life.
Yeah.
But I want to go back to those days. I grew up with those games where I could like put down and then like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when Black Myth Wukong came out and people were like, oh, it's a dead game. People are not playing. Yes, because people finished the game. why would
Like an always always evolving game.
yeah, or like an always evolving game. Because like that's what World of Warcraft and
That's
things
like
do.
I would imagine you'd do that
But
when
yeah.
you're using AI.
Yeah, with AI. But like
How
AI,
many megabytes is your game? It's 600 million terabytes. Why? Because it just doesn't end.
I
or
mean-
like a streaming game which just basically buffers as you play. I don't know. That's something interesting. I think that
yeah.
is something that the world would like to see. A game that's different for every player.
Yeah.
Or you wake up in the game.
Isn't that just the
Outside the
Matrix?
church.
Outside the church. Isn't that
It
just the
is, yeah.
Matrix?
Yeah. Wow. So the name
Yeah.
of your studio is Escape
Yeah, escape the day job.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. Guys, check it out. Escape the day job.
Yep.
Wow, I think we had a banging first episode.
Yeah, thanks a lot also for this opportunity. I mean, Stellar PH, we really want to reach a lot of people and just show them how excited it is to build your own dream. I mean, we just met a few months ago, and
And we've already got the ball rolling. Here we
Yeah.
are.
yeah, and we keep on going.
And
like really,
this is just the beginning.
yeah, we're not stopping.
And that's why it's so important, guys. For you guys who are watching this, if you're watching this on a repeat or anything like that, if you guys want to get in touch with us, you can. You can message us at our socials, Stellar PH for your social medias, and through Tops Media Centers.
Yeah,
social
and also
medias.
go to our website.
All that stuff is in the link in the bio, guys. And if you're watching it on Facebook, it's gonna be there in the comments.
Yeah, and I mean, at Stellar PH, we also have a lot of programs, and so check them out. We're here to help you.
So if you have a business, or you want to start a business, or you just want to be on the show and get merch,
Hey!
send us a message, contact us. You know,
Yes.
Daniel, thank you so much for coming in, bro. You know what's really good that we walk away from this is like you're another person that's exposed told the people your issues, your failures, your successes, and what you drive. And you know what? There's someone else in the world that be watching this right now and going, wow, you never know. I want to do the same thing. And at least hearing it from someone else is always a reassuring thing, which is what I've learned in life. You know, I have streamers who come to me and they're like, I can't do this anymore, Koya Magic. And I'm like, do you know how many people I've said this to? And now they look back at these times and they go, lesson has been learned. I've learned from these things. So that's what
Yeah.
we're here to do. And again, thank you so much for coming
Thank
on.
you too.
Yeah,
Thank you for
thanks a lot.
inviting me.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
So guys, that's a Stellar Spark episode 1.
Yeah, up to next week, right?
Yeah, we are going to be here every Monday, 7 p.m. Come and join us. We'll be on FM transmission next week, hopefully. Yeah, so guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Koya Magic.
I'm Piotr.
And I'm Jan.
And guys, we'll see you again in the next episode of The Stellar